I decided that I should probably do an end of year update video, go over what's happened on the channel this year and what I'm planning for next year. This is also my first time scripting a video. I figured since I have so much to cover, I should probably plan what I'm going to say ahead of time, so hopefully I won't stumble over my words as much. I'd also love to hear how your year has been and what you've got planned for the future too. I think it's always nice to share goals and look towards them in parallel. But I suppose I should probably start at the beginning. March of 2025 is when I uploaded the first episodes of Crosscode and the channel trailer, which I probably need to update at this point. As much as I wanted to do more, I started off with a slow schedule of weekly uploads, both so I wouldn't burn myself out and so I could ensure a consistent schedule above all else. There's no point in rushing for more videos a week if I start missing some, right? Just some mild foreshadowing, we can talk about this soon. There were also some occasional bonus videos, like those the group repo, the milk games, but otherwise the weekly schedule more or less went out pretty smoothly until October, which is when I decided to push myself a bit and I played 2 additional games alongside Crosscode. Sorry We're Closed and Signalis, each with 2 uploads per week for a total of 5 videos per week. A massive increase from just 1. Surprisingly, I more or less pulled it off. Barring COVID interrupting Sorry We're Closed, which pushed out October a little bit. It was a lot of work, but I'm really glad I did it. It proved that I could do more videos than just 1 a week, and Signalis especially led to a nice amount of growth for the channel. It effectively doubled my subs. I'm still really proud of that Let's Play, and especially the bonus episode showing off all the endings. I think those are some of the best videos on the channel at the moment, so definitely if you haven't seen that game, go check it out. There's a playlist, it's cool. And from there I decided I should probably increase my standard schedule to what it is right now, actually. 2 series, uploading weekly on Monday and Friday with the bonus one-offs on Wednesdays. I still like to do more than that at some point, but for now I think it'd be too much for me to be able to maintain a healthy balance of free time and recording, unfortunately. But we'll see, maybe I can push myself even further in the new year. Other than that, I've been trying to fit in some occasional streams whenever I can, and I've been working on making more shorts from both streams and videos. Sadly, with my current work schedule, it's kind of difficult to set aside time for consistent streaming, but I do try and fit them in whenever I can. At least once a month is my goal. Shorts-wise, I've been trying to make them as I edit the playthroughs, rather than making them after the fact, because that way I can schedule them a bit better, and honestly, it's just easier to find them since I'm reviewing all the footage anyway. But that's something I still need to work on a bit. My shorts output has been inconsistent and a little bit lacking, I think. But that's the past covered, so what am I working on now? Crosscode and Sorry We're Closed got wrapped up earlier this month, and I covered the demo for Alabaster Dawn in anticipation of full release. I currently have the Marathon Trilogy and To the Moon releasing on Mondays and Fridays respectively, and I've also been planning out what will come after, preparing playlists and thumbnail layouts, that kind of thing. I've also been doing some bulk recording ahead of time since Christmas is coming up, and I want to make sure I have free time for food and family without worrying about uploads. So, what are the future projects I'm working on? This is the exciting part. I am planning to cover the entire Final Fantasy series, all the way from the first game to number 16, the most recent one. It's an ambitious goal, and one I probably won't finish before the year's over, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun for myself and hopefully for you too. My current intent is to cover multiple games in a row, and then take a short break in between eras. So starting on the 23rd of January, after To the Moon is done, I will start covering what I'm dubbing the Pixel era, so Final Fantasies 1 through 6 every Friday. I guess Final Fantasy Fridays, how could I miss that opportunity? And then I'll probably play a short game or 2 that's unrelated, as a sort of palette cleanser before continuing into the early 3D era of Final Fantasy 7 through 9. And then another break, and then things get a bit more tricky. I do really want to cover the MMO games, and Final Fantasy 14 is simple enough since I'm familiar with that one, but I'm still entirely unsure of how I'm going to tackle 11. So for now, there's a good chance I may skip over it, But by the time we get to it, I might have figured something out. Which brings us to the spin-off series saga, which is 10, 10-2, the 13 trilogy, and I do also intend to cover Final Fantasy Tactics around the same time that I do 12 as well. So that means that Final Fantasy 14 is next. The one game in this entire series that will probably take more than all the other games combined, excluding 11. I have no doubt in my mind that I will cover the entire game on a new character as well, including major side content, but I'm still a little uncertain how exactly I'm going to do that, just due to the sheer size of the game. There is a possibility that I may take 14 to a streaming format instead of videos, and hopefully by the time I get to that game, I might even have more time for streams anyway. You know, it'd be nice if things just worked out like that. If not, we'll figure it out. And then by comparison, 15 and 16 are extremely simple. They are just a video game each, with admittedly some DLCs, but it's not a problem. I can only pray that 17 doesn't release while I'm working on this, or this project will legitimately never end. Other than that, I hope I'll be able to stream some more. I'd love to finally finish off Voices of the Void, at least in its current state, and especially Daggerfall. I've been putting off finishing Daggerfall for so long, but it needs to be done. At this point, I'll probably just beeline the story just so I can say that it's done, rather than mucking around some more. And then I could finally stream some new games, ideally ones that aren't quite as open-ended, so I can actually get through them in a reasonable amount of time. Do some playthroughs on stream, finally. It's been a long time since I've done that. And I think that's about all I wanted to talk about, really. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. I hope you're looking forward to what's coming to the channel in 2026 as much as I am. Maybe we'll experience some more growth and get to monetize the channel. That'll be fun. I will also remind you that I do in fact have some social media. I have a Twitter and a Blue Sky that I occasionally post on. Oh, not very much. And there is also a Discord server that's in dire need of people actually making use of it, all of which will naturally be linked in the description and on my channel, and basically wherever you can look for them, you'll probably find them. Discord especially is a great way to stay updated on videos and streams, if YouTube notifications aren't to your taste, and any pings are opt-in, so you don't need to worry about getting spammed just for joining. So yeah, thank you again for sticking with the channel, and I hope you continue to enjoy it in the new year. I'll see you then. Bye.